Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Techpoint Africa Podcast. My name is Chingo준. So, with me in the studio today,
Bolu.
and
Yinka.
yes, so we have a few stories to talk about. But before we get into it, we would like to say thank you to everyone who was able to make it to the Modern Workplace Africa Conference. It was a great time. Seeing quite a few of you guys, quite a lot of you come over. So it was really a great time. Thank you so much for coming. I don't know if you did not come, you missed out on a lot. There were some really important conversations, especially for the paid master classes. They were very, very interesting conversations there. And I don't know, you may have to pay a little fine, a little bribe to Nifemi and Onome if you want to get those classes. But yeah, thank you so much for those of you that came. For those of you that did not come, you'll be taking your thank you from somewhere else. So without further ado, let's get into the conversation for today. So first is iROKOtv. So some reports said they were shutting down, and we saw a different one that said no, we are not shutting down. We are just having some migrations. So I'm just curious. I mean, usually, so for some services when they're doing migrations or maintenance, they usually they inform users or send
Customers.
emails. They should do something to like let the customers know that okay, we are going to be offline for within this period. But I don't know if is it that they didn't do this for customers to suspect that they were, or for customers to think that they had shut down or something. Could it be that they didn't do this?
So judging by what some customers told Tech About, according to Tech About article, they didn't know that there was some migration or maintenance going on. They just found out that they could not get access to the services provided by iROKOtv. And by the way, if you don't know what iROKOtv is, if you are new in because iROKOtv has been around for quite some time, so if you are new in the tech space, you might not know iROKOtv. So it's basically the Netflix for Africa. That's like the simplest way to put it. It's a platform that wants to make Nigerian content or just movies global, like available to everyone all over the planet, right? So that's what iROKOtv does. So for some time now, some customers complain that we couldn't access it. They couldn't even download it from the Apple Store, Play Store, and they're like, "What's going on?" And we're like, "Oh, they probably shut down." But then, Jason Unjoku, the CEO of iROKOtv, he said they were not shutting down. That they were basically doing migrations, right? Migrating from platforms that were designed for Africa, and then migrating out of Africa, because basically it's hard offering those type of services to Africans, right? Because of basically the ability to spend here isn't as much as.
Then there's also the part of streaming.
Yes. Streaming is not big in Africa yet.
An average entrepreneur can quote Africa has 1 point something billion population, but then when you look at some certain factors, you look at that figure, it's very low. And of course, iROKOtv has been around for a very long time.
Yeah, 12 years now.
Yeah. And there are a couple of streaming platforms, African streaming platforms, that have come over the years now, and I'm like, I'll pack their bags because of the challenges. And of course, streaming in Africa, it's even take Netflix for instance, which is like the king of streaming. And then when it comes to Africa, it's not there at all. So right now, I don't think there's any African country that has up to 1 million or even 500k users on Netflix. The last figure that was released was that South Africa is the only country in the top countries by Netflix subscriptions in the world. And then South Africa was doing about 340, 350k
users.
Nigeria is not even on that list, and the lowest on that list is around 100k or 50k, I think. And Nigeria doesn't, you don't even get to that point. So it shows that yes, can say Nigeria is a population of 200 million. Anyway, depending on who you are, so 200 million, but not even up to 1 million of those guys are on Netflix. So
I'm even going to guess that the whole of Africa does not have up to 1 million. Not up to 1 million people Africans are using Netflix.
Well, I mean that might be pushing it, but it's still
it's still not pushing. It was if South Africa, which is like the biggest in Africa in terms of Netflix subscription, is doing 350, and Nigeria, which is like we should expect you have high number, doesn't even have up to 100 as at then.
I mean, okay, well, there's something to be said for that, but this is probably that data is like a few years old.
2021, actually.
2021, okay, 2 years, and I think, and this is my personal opinion,
and a lot of people have not bounced back from the effects of COVID.
Yes.
And then
but I also think that there has been like, especially with the success of Nigerian movies on Netflix in the last 2-3 years, we've had King of Boys, which other movie? Like we've had a lot of like Netflix Nollywood movies that did really well in the last 2 years.
That doesn't mean people are going to Netflix to watch. Have you been on Twitter? You see people asking for Netflix login.
Of course, people are doing
WhatsApp. WhatsApp status. People asking for Netflix
actually
login.
people who have. Okay, now this isn't backed by data, but I think that there can be a correlation here. So Nollywood movies are doing well, and there's maybe a group of people who want to watch more Nollywood content, and then they realize, if I don't want to get it from pirated websites, the best place to do that is on Netflix or maybe Amazon Prime, of course. But I think the number should have grown. Of course, they will have to release official numbers for us to know. But I suspect the numbers have grown, especially with the investments they've made.
See, that a movie is released only on Netflix doesn't mean yes.
It's only available.
Of course,
pirate it.
Yeah.
And then what most people are watching is this pirated one because you are not paying subscription. The only thing you are just worried about is just the data you need to download them.
I think
so. Yes, a movie might be very popular, and at the end of the day, check the figure on Netflix. In Nigeria, it's not really doing well. Outside Nigeria, the figures might be doing well outside Nigeria, but then you bring that home.
Yeah. So I just want to also say that we should commend iROKOtv for lasting this long. I mean, judging by what Netflix and the other big guys are doing, I'm pretty sure. Okay, maybe not pretty sure, but I would say they're probably making a loss, being in Africa.
So
right? But I think
in Africa, they're not really in Africa.
They are not really in Africa, but offering
they moved to London. So
yes,
their core business.
They moved their core to London.
Jason says 89% of their customers were outside Nigeria.
Wow! So it makes sense. So the movement is probably moving their server out of Africa because
I was actually talking about Netflix.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes, that them commissioning or actually licensing movies is probably them taking a hit.
But it's a case of
course,
it's a numbers game. So you are promising your users, your audience that you have this catalog, and then so there are some countries on Netflix that have over 4,000 movies and shows.
Wow!
So and then to sell to other people, you are going to promise them that yes, I have this number of movies and shows on my platform. So come. So that's it. So that's why Netflix is going out, buying, commissioning projects, and also doing some as well. So
I mean, also to even look at it. So look at it this way. You mentioned Black Book, so let's use Black Book as a small case study. So you produce a movie in Nigeria. Black Book was reportedly produced with $1 million. That is what a very ridiculously low amount of money for any Hollywood blockbuster, right? So you produce your movies in Nigeria, and people in Europe, North America, they enjoy it. Lower costs, but you get to make a lot of money from these guys. So it kind of, they may not be taking a hit. Netflix may not be taking a significant hit, by investing in Africa? Because really, how much are they investing compared to
it could just
the rest
be
of the
it could
world?
just also be a case of using what they are doing outside. There are countries with millions of users
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Mhm.
So you are just using this is an untapped market.
Yeah.
So you just use what we are getting there to just try and build this market. And then when the market eventually mature enough that you have enough people with access to
Already
broadband,
positioned.
you're already
Yeah.
positioned there. You already have a large catalog and stuff like that. So.
And obviously, it will become a large market because Netflix is not the only one betting on the market right now anymore. Other players are coming in.
Yeah, we've
Maybe
seen
not in
it.
Nigeria yet, but we've seen
in
Disney Plus.
Africa. But this
in South
is only
Africa.
available in South Africa.
Yes.
No,
But
so
I
it's not just the streaming platforms. We've also seen funds raised specifically for that. At the last count, I'm very sure at least $2 to $3 million have been raised to invest in just creating content right now or
And
creating movies.
And that's small
And-
compared to what MultiChoice is doing.
Well,
They are heavy
mm,
on content.
no, I'm talking about individual funds. So I've
Oh,
seen
okay.
I've seen a 500 million naira fund. I can't remember exactly how much Volition Capital. So they also funded Black Book, by the way.
Oh.
So they have also raised a fund for creatives. So I think that that and a few other funds that are probably going to come up over the next few years may tackle, because we always hear, Nollywood movies are this way because they don't have the budget. So maybe that at the very because I think if you fix quality, I mean, you can always sell your content anywhere. To be honest, you can sell your content anywhere. So you can fix quality. Yes. So moving on, MTN is about to shell out 72.5 M to the FIRS. That's the Federal Inland
dollars or naira.
dollars. Sorry, if I ever say anything under 100 million on this podcast, no, it's dollars, please. So
$72 million.
yeah, $72 million for tax evasion over 10 years. I don't know
That's a
who
lot
wants
of money.
to add or subtract from that.
I'll just say
The prayers have been done.
FIRS or Nigeria in general. Just take it easy on these people.
No, please don't take anything easy. This is a
tax,
10-year.
tax evasion. It's not
Is that not
something
supposed to be
to
a
be
crime?
taken.
Is that not supposed to be a crime? Tax evasion.
Yeah, it's a crime.
Okay, so
Tax evasion is a
it's a
crime. And considering that tax is the
lifeblood of our.
lifeblood.
Are looking for
of-
money terribly.
not looking for money. Say your senators are buying 150 million.
We need to
car.
fund their
You need
lifestyle.
money to
We need to
fund
help
their
them
big
get
boy
more.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
So yes, tax evasion, and it's not just for corporates alone, individuals
Individuals,
as well. So yes,
Think about
and
it.
then-
But I
tax.
just think, okay, they should probably pay for evading tax. It's a crime. They
Yeah.
should suffer
yeah,
the
no,
consequences.
But what you do, you
However-
pay what you owe. No,
However,
you can negotiate it, but you still pay.
However, what are you running a
However-
socialist economy here?
However, I
Uh-huh.
think something should be done about, because let's be honest, doing business in Nigeria is extremely difficult, right?
But
These people
shall
are
pay your
running
tax.
generator. The mast in my house, right?
does
I
not-
just said my house.
Which does not give us light always, and
The,
himself,
the generator there
It gives you
goes
light.
off.
no, not light.
No,
It
no,
doesn't
no,
always
no,
give
network.
us
Yes,
proper
and when that
network.
generator goes off, I'm back to Edge or 3G, something like that. And
Yeah, you have to go and read book by force. Once that thing goes
I mean,
you have to
just
go and read book.
That's
Don't have.
life becomes unbearable. So,
Don't
I
have
mean, we
choice.
know how important.
That it was so bad.
You say a day, several days.
Yes, it gets really bad.
Several days.
right?
I would.
So, yes, they pay for evading tax. I say task, tax. But
Oduduwa tax.
let's do some. I was telling you, but let something needs to be done
Yeah.
about doing business in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Maybe before they get everything right. Maybe
That one is a
cut
different.
down.
No, that's
Okay,
a
it's-
different.
it's a
That's a
different
different
That would be
conversation. Yes.
where, say,
For sure, pay your tax.
the Ministry of something
Digital
something and
economy,
digital
blah, blah, blah,
economy.
yeah.
Yes, there's something before the
our
digital economy.
Bosun, is it Bosun's ministry?
Yeah.
Okay.
The ministry, and then the commission, that is one of the commissioners under the ministry,
NCC.
NCC, would be where, okay, yes, how can we kind of like make the economy? Yes, the economy is showing everybody, but how can we make sure that
Massive
it doesn't
shege.
affect everybody to that extent?
Yeah.
I'm sure the mass in your area shutting down doesn't happen like that before.
Well,
Now that this
Likely
is
that it
well,
doesn't have that
this is
before, but now
1,200.
Well,
this is not
was
expensive.
it not happening like that?
It was
though?
no, it wasn't happen like that before.
Are you sure?
No, it wasn't.
Was
Was
it?
it? It wasn't that bad.
Wasn't
It's
bad.
it got to a time where when lights goes,
Mm.
I mean, I knew that wasn't happening
Comes up
before.
a bit. It comes up
When light
immediately.
goes, I can't send WhatsApp message again.
Yes, like several times.
So
you can't send WhatsApp.
you now know
messages.
that okay, there's something because it wasn't like that before. If light goes, waiting concern that you still be able to go. But then I started noticing. I thought it was just a coincidence. But then I started noticing. Okay, this is a trend.
It's not a
I
trend.
mean,
the kind of problems that we have in Nigeria, Sha.
I mean, only
So,
God
it's
can
just a
help
case
us.
of, yes, working with relevant
Mm.
authorities to say, okay, yes, this is what we are facing, and this is how the government can come in and kind of like.
Well, anyway, still on MTN. So they were accused of causing users to. They were accused of causing users to lose money after recycling their Momo
Okay.
numbers or recycling MTN numbers. So, I mean, we all know what Momo is now. I don't need to be
Momo
explaining.
is MTN's mobile.
Mobile money service. So in South Africa, a South African company, Itemate Solutions or Itemate, whatever, they are they're accusing them of making customers to lose their money that was in the Momo account, and MTN says, that's not our fault. So I mean, the matter is still going up. They're still on it, but MTN is saying no. We're not the reason you lost your money. This that. So I think we probably get a resolution at some point.
But before they reassign your number, it has to be a case of the number being dormant for a very.
I mean, that's what
But
they
if
do
there's
in
money on
Nigeria.
it and it has been dormant for a very long time,
But
is it that you forfeit?
are there
the
chances? No, are there chances that you have money in your account and the account? I'm not talking of change now. Say you have, say, 10,000, 100,000 in an account, and the account will be dormant.
For
I will
too
not
long.
for a very long time. That
It's possible. What if the person dies or something?
I mean, if you die, then why you complaining about your account being reassigned?
Exactly.
True.
I mean,
So-
No verse. I
So
don't think
it's I don't know.
but yes,
Yeah.
we now have. We're moving on to an update from an ever-present part or component of this podcast. Bolu, tell us what's up with Patricia.
Our dear Patricia, Africa's
Dear Patricia, think about it. That's a nice way to
Africa's
start a letter.
Binance. I mean, it might not look like it, but
come again. Rewind. I heard something.
I said Africa's Binance.
Guy, no thing they talk now.
I mean, it has the potential. Well, maybe
No,
not anymore,
no
but
be- na
it's hard.
potential the key Rashford now, but I don't know.
All right, so
That joke fell flat. Chidinma, do you understand that?
please let's not bring football into this. So, as I was saying,
Sorry, people are watching. This creature doesn't watch football. Yinka is in the same category, but it's sad.
please, let's
I'm going to apologize for, so I'm not apologizing for that.
It's a sad development. But
Why is it sad development?
Can
it's
you
really
see-
sad. I mean, why can't
see,
you?
see
Why?
football
What do you
person
do?
that is
Like,
really
you're not delaying. It's part of
okay.
the
Moving
podcast.
on. Yes. So, if you've been following the podcast for some time now, you would have noticed, that we've been talking about Patricia a lot because a lot has been going on at the company.
Collecting hand.
Yeah. So, just to recap, in case you've not been following. So, in May, Patricia announced that they were hacked, right? And the hack affected customer funds, just Naira customer funds, but not the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and probably Dogecoin funds, right? So they put withdrawals on hold. Customers were not allowed to take out their money, right? So after sometimes customers were like, where's our money? Things like that. I mean, you can understand as a user of any financial services platform, if you are not able to get access to your money, you will vex or you start becoming worried. So Patricia was like, okay, here's the thing, right? We'll create a token called the Patricia token, and then we'll issue it to you. Basically, me creating my own money and then giving it to you. But the problem with me creating my money is that how do you now know the value? So if I create Bulu coin, Bitcoin, for example, and I say, I want to, not everyone will accept it from me because what's the value of?
Who? Me.
Chingos won't collect it. It's a good boy.
When I'm
So
out.
not everyone will collect it, right? So that was the issue with
Nobody.
Patricia token. People were like, how can you just turn, I have 50 million somewhere, and then you want to give me the supposed equivalent in a currency I'm not familiar with. But Patricia came out to explain that it was that it was a debt something. They shall explain it somehow.
Just something like a certificate that.
Yes, so they'll just give it. Yeah, so if they're owing you 50,000 naira, they'll give you 50,000 that of Patricia tokens, just to let you know that okay, we're owing you 50k, so it's 50k will return to you, right? And then after that, we heard that Patricia was now trying to convince some customers to turn the money that Patricia was owing them to shares within the company, basically saying if my company is owing Yinka 50,000 naira or $50,000 because Yinka is rich. If my company is owing Yinka $50,000. I'll go to Yinka and say, okay, they went to Yinka and they said, oh, Yinka, that your $50,000. Do you know you can get some equity in Patricia? So, I mean, obviously,
you have it.
Obviously, customers did not take it lightly. They even threatened to protest, right? And then there was some lights at the end. We've not reached the end of the tunnel, but we started seeing some silver lining, right? That okay, maybe something good might happen. So on the 24th, Patricia announced that they've appointed an escrow trustee called a DLM Capital or DLM Trust, right, to help with paying back customers, which will start, the first batch will start on November 20, right? And, it was like, oh, finally, something. And then the next day, just the next day, that's not today, that was yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
That was yesterday. DLM Trust says, we are not doing it with Patricia again, right? Patricia was like, no, it's because of, media backlash, things like that. And then DLM now says, okay, it's not that we are not doing it again, we are putting it on a pause. Right, we are pausing with it. And then today, or should I even say, today, DLM Trust has now confirmed that we are not even doing it again. We are anything that is tying us and Patricia together. Yes. So, I mean, it's been a very interesting story, but also on a more serious side, it's concerning because this is becoming a bit weird, right? Updates after updates. We just need. I'm sure people. If I was putting myself in a customer's shoes, I just need someone to tell me, okay, this is what happened. Am I getting it back? Am I not Give me some kind of closure,
I have a
right?
question.
Okay.
You mentioned something that they said the act only affected their money, the money they have in Naira.
Naira.
So, and I want to assume that not a large number of people will have their money in Naira because you move a money to a crypto exchange to exchange it for a cryptocurrency. So you are not going to put it there and just hold it there like a bank to gain interest. So, and now the math is not mathing because you are saying you are paying 2 million back to people.
2 billion.
So 2 billion.
So allegedly 2 billion.
$2 million.
$2 million. Yeah.
So are you telling me that at the point they got hacked, they had $2 million in Naira? No. So this is it. If I move my money to
an
exchange, I'm not moving it there to keep. I'm moving it there to exchange it for a cryptocurrency. I'm not going to move my money to Binance and keep it there in Naira. No, they are not my bank. Yes, I'm moving it there and exchanging it for any currency that I want.
Or probably keeping cryptocurrency on that platform.
So saying that they got hacked and the one that got hacked is in Naira,
and then
you are now owing to me.
Okay, now here's the thing here. So do you? I'm going to assume that you know the customers whose monies were in Naira, but now everybody is seeing their money held back. I mean, common sense here would be okay. I know one thing you want to avoid is to maybe avoid the equivalent of a bank run by saying no, everybody can withdraw your money. But what you could do is internally you have your systems. They tell you, okay, this person Bolu has his money in Naira, but Yinka has his money in USDT, for example. Okay, pay Yinka back. Not even on your own. He wants his money right now. Send his money back to him, and then find out how to worry about those who have their monies in Naira. But I think what they are trying to play here is they want to probably still keep the business running, and that means if you tell people, okay, now you everybody can withdraw their money. Such a situation, especially with the way it's dragged out, could mean that you lose, if not all your customers, but at least a significant portion. And having something like this hanging over your head also means customer acquisition will get harder, because this saga has
I don't even
dragged
think
on.
it's possible to
for them
get
to even
even one customer at this
I
point.
mean,
So
MMM came. There was a first, second, and third coming of MMM.
No,
People fell
but
for it.
it's different version. There's
Different
MMM, different
generations,
names, different variations.
Yeah, different
so
variations,
another company
different
come
names.
with
But I
the
think we
same
also
model.
had. No, I think we had
shut down.
MMM.
Eh.
People,
The
yes,
same name.
yeah,
I think
the
that was
same name.
twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was
Okay.
twice.
It wasn't once.
I did not even try
So-
that.
I
one.
just remember that back then, the what's it called, the internet situation and everything is not as like a lot more people are connected to the internet. A lot
Yes,
more
but I hope
people
you know
get
that some
information.
people lost money the first time to
Yes.
MMM and
Still.
still lost the second time.
You're
Same
trying to play your role.
MMM. So I think yes, customer acquisition will be more difficult. It's very possible that they may not even get anyone, but I think it will be more difficult. So I guess what they are trying to do here is eat their cake and have it. Hold on to customer funds, assuming they even have the money, and ensure that you at least have some
Save.
money.
Well, the
system.
moment you open up that you want to start business again and people can start moving their funds, everybody will move out their funds.
Yeah.
And now that's number one. The number two is Bondu shut down recently, right?
Yeah.
And what they did is move people's funds to Binance.
Okay. They are affiliated with Binance, yeah.
Well,
They moved
Bondu
it.
is a Binance Lab creation.
Experiment.
Yeah.
So they move people's funds
Mm.
to their Binance account.
Mm.
So which is why the math that the
Patricia
story
is
that
doing.
Patricia is selling, like
It's not adding up.
it's not adding up.
I mean, it's
This
and
naira and everybody's crying.
it's making it even harder to like, because some of the customers I told I spoke to said they've not been able to access their money. It has like before they announced the hack, right? So the stories were from congestion in the blockchain to maintenance going on
Wait,
to
you
you
blockchain
know
people.
those things like that. It makes you start being
Sorry,
like,
wait. I don't
come
know.
on.
I'm not a blockchain person. It don't really concern me like that. But people used to
There can be
also
congestion
have
on the
traffic.
blockchain. So. I mean, it depends on there are different kinds of blockchain. Traffic, like traffic on the
Traffic
blockchain.
jam.
Yes. Some blockchains are not that scalable. The old ones, for example, like Bitcoin, for example, it can get really slow, right?
But I thought people said this was going to change the world.
Yeah, but they
Calm
are,
down
they
now.
are retreating now.
Technology.
I don't
It's an
care.
advancement. You keep
I don't
growing. Keep
all
don't
your
care.
all your fintech
All my
boys and
words,
girls, all of
eh.
them are using it. They are not just telling you. Don't
don't
worry,
care.
I will show you.
You show me what.
They play.
Anyway,
All right,
moving
but
away from
Patricia,
I think we spent enough
my
time
hearts are
on.
with you, and I'm wishing them all the best. I hope they're
Guys
able
will
to
be
get out
alright,
of
man.
this.
So speaking about still on unreliable, Kini, please, I need to know what I've been having issues with MTN. Earlier we were complaining about light goes off and network goes off as well, but in the last 1 month at least, I've spent more on data than I have in the previous months, and I don't know.
So how much do you
What?
spend on data every month?
So before I used to do average 10K, so I probably
Lump
like
sum or bit by bit?
Lump
so
sum.
not really lump sum.
Okay.
So the first time I did like the lump sum of like 14-15K, I didn't finish it. And you know how they behave. So I was like, okay,
Are you all over now?
I didn't want to roll over because I think I got I can't remember the exact one, but I think
it should get you about 100 to 150.
yeah, I think I got 120 gig for that 15K. But for some reason I didn't use up to 70 gig that month. I just figured, okay, I've done this for like 2 or 3 months. I might as well just return to using half. But I'm now doing a cheaper one, 6.5, and I've already done 2 this month.
Sorry,
And
we'll do one more.
this anyway, I won't be resorting to violence on the camera, but
I'm serious.
I've done 2, and this is 26. Like the last one finished like 4 days ago. So before the 22nd of the month, I've done like
Do you
13K.
use your phone with your laptop?
Yeah, I do. But I've always been using that.
I mean, updates, backups.
Laptop updates.
There might be
sir.
things that are backing
So,
up that you don't know.
My laptop updates. Yeah, it updates in the background, but it has also been updating in the background before now. There's really nothing that
there could be bigger updates this time.
Yeah. Or maybe I'm generating more data.
Am I mining crypto?
Maybe people are sending you videos and more.
Nobody is sending me any video. Why would anybody be sending me video?
I don't know. I don't know what you're up to these days.
I'm up to nothing. Nobody is sending me videos, but then you can send me videos. I don't mind. Just make sure. But really, I need a solution to my problem. MTN wants
it's
to. It's
probably just you. I mean, I remember that video Fisayo did
it's just
where he was talking, where he was explaining that telcos don't suck your data like people usually say. It's you that maybe there's something running on your phone, in your background. I mean, there's these days bloatware, right, on mobile phones.
I'm using a Samsung. This is not Techno. There's no bloatware on. Sorry, if you're using Techno, it's not discrimination, but it is what it is.
No vex.
What is?
No vex.
Techno comes with plenty bloatware now, like unnecessary apps. But yes,
no. Just what that statement look as if people using Techno.
No, I mean
there are Technos of 700k now.
No,
there's one Techno that was around 600k.
700,000.
No, there was. I know there's a Techno that is over 500k.
But they have mine though.
I believe so.
How is their flip and
They have one big phone. I'm like,
they don't have
Techno. How?
They've done flip.
No, that phone is that phone.
Why would you even spend more than 120k or 150k?
Yes, that phone is over 500 thereabouts. I can't
anyway, don't worry,
about.
somebody's
Please,
business.
Let's offer a disclaimer again once more. The opinions shared on this.
Okay, yes.
Forget.
It's their opinion.
This one is not required disclaimer.
I'm telling you. But anyway, please, MTN, help my life. If I spend too much money on data, I might have to be relocating out of Lagos. Thank you. I'll find that video you're referring to.
Okay.
I'll watch it. When you're done, it's either myself and Fisayo are fighting or someone from MTN is fighting with me.
Okay.
Because I have spent too much money with them for them to be treating me like that. But yes, moving on to someone who is trying to break a relationship. Fidelity Bank is blocking transfer to OPay, Moniepoint, and Palmpay over KYC concerns. So there's no official statement from Fidelity Bank saying yes, we are doing this, or any official acceptance that they are doing this. So this is just
the users are saying
yes,
see those guys on their
platform,
and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then Moniepoint said confirmed the same thing that they were told, and then OPay, I think OPay.
Palmpay said that they told them that they were doing some maintenance, and
so it's really dicey because yes, KYC is very important, and considering that these neobanks, some of them with just a phone number, you can create an account with them and stuff like that.
And let's not forget that OPay had this issue recently about customers saying that accounts were created without their consent.
Okay, no, so this is it. That one that one might not be true. The reason why I said that is you might have forgotten. Okay, I used OPay back in 2019 during the everything stuff. And I've not, so after Lagos State serve them breakfast, and serve the ride hailing breakfast, and I stopped using it because that was basically what I was using it for. And I've not used it. I don't think I've used it since then.
Yeah.
I've not opened the app or used it since then. And then now, it's easy for me to forget that I've at a point had an OPay account, and then someone just say, yes, you have an OPay account. Like, no, I did not have an OPay account. So it might just be our case, because at that point they were everywhere.
Yeah.
True.
Across almost all verticals.
Yeah,
so
they were even
the chance of you not using them was
I get
very
ya.
low. So
so in that case, I think it's actually easy to confirm. So if I'm assuming that financial institutions or if anybody has like data on when a particular account was created that a customer can pull up or request for.
It's going to be have to be from the financial institution, so not you. So it's the financial institution that will be able to have access to that and tell you, yes, you created this account on this particular date. So,
but then I'm still inclined to believe, or okay, let me not say believe, but I mean, thinking about why Fidelity Bank said, "Oh, KYC issued fraud issues," based on how easy it is to create these accounts, it is very possible that bad actors, right, would create accounts with,
Yeah.
So-
and then even because I've had to do some transactions right in the past, and once I see Palmpay, I'm like, I don't, because the last time I did something with someone from Palmpay, right, they sent me the money for some reason. I could not access the money. I don't like when I called my bank was like, oh, the person told their own bank that they should get their money back.
So now, at the point, there's one vendor, I think it was a filling station, that won't accept any card from OPay or Palmpay because you use your card and then
you go and tell them.
You go and register, complain that you did not use the card, so they revert back the money, and then whereas you've gotten the goods you paid for and stuff like that.
So that's basically like chargeback.
Yeah. So I'm telling you,
which is something that you can do with almost any financial institution actually. I don't know. So it's not. I won't say it's because of the ease, because I could make account opening very easy for you, and still make you like fill out your KYC documents
to access
certain services. So yes, you want to open an account. Okay, just give me your phone number. Fine. But you want to send 1K, no, I can just do it. But you want to send 20K, okay. I need your BVN for you to do that. Fine. Or I tell you, okay, you can't do more than X amount of transactions without your BVN or getting certain levels of will I say KYC status. And I think that's what everybody does. Of course, I'm not using all the neobanks, but I think all of them do that. But we've had this conversation severally. Like we've seen stories come up that their KYC checks are very lax because they're just trying to sign up as many people as possible. There could be something there, but I've been seeing some comments on Twitter since this story came out about it being almost like an anti-competitive move, trying to stop trying to stop movement of money or funds to these accounts. And there may be something there, but I think it's just people grasping for straws in a way. There may be something there, yes, but I don't know. It doesn't sound very credible.
So, for moving money out of traditional bank to neobanks, you are paying. It's moving money from neobanks to other banks that you are like, most of them do free
transfers, yeah.
Even if it's anti-competitive, you are still paying them transaction charges.
Yeah, I mean, some people are making it look like they are trying to stifle their growth. But I do not see. So except there's a concerted effort. How many customers, for example, use Fidelity Bank? I don't know their numbers, but probably they have under 5-7 million users. It's very, very possible that maybe only a fraction of your users use either of these guys that are being mentioned. Or for this to actually be effective, you need like a concerted effort of at least the largest banks for this to happen. I don't know that Fidelity Bank is the largest or one of the largest banks. So I don't see how.
So it's really I don't even think it's that competitive because yes, these traditional banks are doing what these new banks are not doing.
Okay.
Their interest rates, for instance, loan interest rate, for instance, like way lower than what these new banks are giving them.
Yeah.
So I won't, because of free transfers, carry my business to a new bank. Yes, I use Carbon. Carbon is probably one of the new banks that I use frequently. But any other one, no. No, I still use my traditional banks. My salary.
Yes, I mean, so I think that speaks to trust, because I've had a few conversations and I've seen a few conversations around all of this where people are saying, okay, yes, you guys give us fast, quick transfers. I can get my money instantly. Free transfers as well. Like there's more efficiency with new banks, but can we trust you enough to keep our money with you? That's the conversation that I've seen come up a lot. I've not. So personally, I do not. I use a few new banks, but I've seen people who are scared. They appreciate what the new banks do in terms of efficiency, but they're always worried. Okay, you guys shut down frequently, and you are not always.
Yeah.
So, for example, your deposits in a piggy vest, for example, is insured, right? but not all other fintechs have that. So why should I move my money?
Bank, by the fact that they are banks, should be insured by NDIC. But then, now this is I had the conversation with someone recently. So it's a case of use neobank, but you only use it to receive payment. And once it gets the payment, it moves out to its transaction number, and that's it.
Yeah. So I don't
that competitive move. I don't think that's valid.
Of course, maybe over. So for example, you mentioned carbon. I think one of the reasons why you have like that confidence in carbon is because of they've been around for a while. You've used them over several years. I think I've probably been using my carbon account for maybe 4, 5, maybe 6 years now.
I'm using them since 2017.
Exactly. So that's like 5 years. So if you've been using, is it 5 or 6 years? Almost 6 years anyway.
And they've been around more than that.
Yes. So if I know that you've been around for X amount of years, but not you with you just know you've been around for like 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, and you expect trust. I don't know. I don't see it as anti-competitive. I may be wrong. We need to be corrected, but I think it's more a case of these banks saying, okay, and so for the Tech About report says this wasn't always happening, but they began to see an uptick in fraud. This is also the year where we've seen, this is the period where we've seen the fintech basically shut down because they were getting too many chargebacks.
Yeah.
And we've seen it happen repeatedly. Like neobanks or fintechs have had to shut down card services because of chargeback. And you can't tell me that it's simply because they do not want you to compete. It can't just be because of that.
So, Fidelity's decision could also be a case of, looking at the data. So, if I am a vendor and people are buying from me using a particular bank's card, and then each time, at every point that I get, I make a sale, the person reported it, and the money goes back. I'm looking, okay, is this happening? This is happening.
Where is this happening from?
Where is this happening from? Which bank is the originating bank? And if it's a case of new banks, I'm telling my bank that these guys are doing it, and then the traditional banks ask you, so you look at the pattern. The banks are like, yes, this is happening. So you need to just block the loophole.
The easy bank and the new banks solve their issue.
No,
I mean, they will, but I wanted us to have this conversation around that. Are you trying to block the competition? But yes, I think
KYC is actually important because you send
very, very important because I do not want to wake up one morning and then hear that the money that was in my account has been compromised. Or if I'm a financial institution, I don't want to be getting complaints that like something happened to your money or something like that. I do not want to be having my systems breached or maybe my system being used to perpetrate fraud because it puts me in unnecessary trouble. And you've seen people paying money for tax evasion. You may now have to start out, and people who are struggling to repay money that they lost through a hack. You do not want something like that, and KYC could be one of the things that helps to at least mitigate it to a certain extent. So yes, I think we are done with that. So we saw Airtel Africa launching 4G-enabled smartphones in Rwanda. They are planning to do that by 2024. We've also not seen a lot of fundraising this week. Very, very muted on that end. I don't know.
Sapa.
Yeah, things are.
Is it just Sapa or, people are just now being more. I mean, you probably should ask you this morning about how investors said the whole founder misconduct we've been hearing might hurt funding.
But that's not.
I mean,
so startups in other climes are doing way more than that. Yeah. Like, you raise hundreds of millions of dollars and you say you are not doing it again.
So it's not.
It's getting worse.
Sold company, and then at the end of the day, discover that the figure that you use and sell the company, and then the buyer is not a small company. So what are we saying?
I think it's an economic. So okay. I think it's.
But then surprisingly, there are a lot of funds that have been raised over this year alone for African startups. Like this are raising lots, like raising 65M, raising 100, 150. So now the deployment.
They'll start next year.
Because last I checked, I think African startups have done like 2.3 billion this year, which is low. I mean, last year...
No, it should be more than that.
Is it more than that? Okay.
It should be more than that.
But it's still about 2 point something billion. And last year, last year it did nearly 5 billion, depending on who you're asking.
Depending on-
Between 4 and 5 billion.
to range.
But if you're still under 3 billion, this is October. October is over. I
Man,
don't see you.
someone do 5M. I mean 500.
Nobody's in 500M.
You're surprised.
I mean,
Never say never.
I've said never. You can place a bet.
Oh, so what if
actually.
Moniepoint did it?
Moniepoint cannot do
They've already
500M.
raised this year now.
People should place
No,
a bet.
Their last
Let's
week is
place,
last year.
let's place a bet.
Their last
I'm
week
not
is
even
last year.
betting. 500.
Yes.
Ooh. Well, where?
Nobody. You're the one to
Right.
see the 5. Who was that's like an entire fund. I
But
mean,
the last one that OPay did was 400.
yes, that's
So
OPay.
what are you saying? And then they did
that's-
one around
that's OPay.
70 in 2019.
Nobody's trading. If you can place a bet,
You'll be
nobody's
surprised.
trading
This
500.
year.
And you actually, you
VC.
actually need like 3-4
VC.
people to do that
VC.
for us to even hit
To
4 billion.
hit
So
that, yes.
I think this year has proven to be a tough year for everybody.
Yeah.
Startups are raising less. Investors as
Shutdowns,
well are
layoffs.
you are seeing a lot of layoffs. Naira is doing is doing its best to, I don't know, it's
Naira.
going
And my prayers too.
yeah, prayers. But yeah, I think that's all we have for you on the podcast today. Thank you so much for staying with us to the end. Please make sure you subscribe to all our newsletters. Yes, digest your daily briefing for all tech news. There is Interpoint. Okay, Interpoint. They have to pay us for us to talk about them in the newsletter. But they do have
that
a
means you're going to
newsletter.
pay me appearance fee.
So as I was saying,
We
there
are
is-
actually doing a favor by bringing you here.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, we are helping you sell your market.
We're
Think about
helping
it.
you.
We have a larger,
You know?
audience, and we are plugging
Yeah.
you in.
Wow.
So yeah, shout out to Interpoint for consistently giving us
Yeah,
data.
They've been
reports.
doing well.
By the way, if you want to partner
Give
with
you
them,
value.
you can speak to me through. No, you can speak to Inka through me. I help with things like that, and we can come to.
Oh,
a
we did not
very-
talk about the modern workplace that happened.
Yes. How did we forget that? Modern Workplace Africa Conference was on Saturday. It was a great outing. We had some. I mean, personally, even though I was not exactly an attendee, I learned quite a few things that I think if you were not there, sorry for you. Especially if you run a company or you're an HR professional, there were some very, very interesting conversations around. Especially around in the master classes. But the thing is, if you talk to Nifemi nicely, you might be able to pay a fee to get the classes that were held. And thank you so much for everyone who came around, for all the sponsors and all of that. Thank you so much. And do subscribe to all our newsletters, FinTech Today, the Digest, Equity Merchants that I write, help my life. Subscribe to my newsletter, and I promise you your life will never be the same. So thank you so much. We've come to the end of this podcast. You can find us on Bolu.
Yes, if you're an audio listener, you can always find us on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and any other platform you get your podcast.
Anyway, with all that, Shalai, please do your best to share any snippets, like they say, any of these snippets, any part of the podcast that blesses your life or ministers to you. Please share it. If you feel like we've made a mistake or we've misrepresented facts, also feel free to send us a message. We'll correct that. We try our best or do our best to uphold the truth and not about the truth. How did they say that? So yes. Thank you so much for staying with us to the end. This is getting long enough. And
Yeah, your sign
we'll
out.
see you.
is
My sign out has been,
plenty.
it's been too long. But we'll see you next week.
Hallelujah, do
Same
we
time
get
next
audio?
year.
I said it
you
already.
said that.
You're not
You're
not
following.
following us.
It was
She wants
because
to listen to
you
it.
see that it was
Okay,
It's
not
not,
that again.
are you about to blame me for something that... Anyway, thank you so much. Bye. Yes, we'll see you next week. Same time, same station. Bye. Peace.